Hey guys, what's up? I'm here to give you guys a recap on a new episode of Jujutsu Kaisen or Sorcery Fight, which is on episode 10. Now, this episode right here, looks like to me, we get to know a little bit more about Junpei, and it looks like to me his life is pretty terrible in a certain way, depending how you even look at it. So, if anything else, let's just get this started. I'm going to focus on one part about Junpei, and then the other part about Nanami against Mahito, which I'm pretty sure if you guys watch the episode, you'll get the idea. Those who haven't and just watching this recap, you're just spoiling yourself. You may not even get the idea or be very confused. So, if anything else, let's just get this started. We have to it that we get to know about Junpei's backstory, that he wasn't just bullied by those guys, but he was actually bullied by the other people as well when it came to a movie club, when they were talking about. Eventually, when Junpei was about to leave and wanted to take a movie home, the guy kicked him in the face when he was stepping on it, and they all decided to beat the living hell out of him, which is really annoying. I'm surprised he doesn't even intend to try to fight back. Well, I don't know what the case may be, but one thing was sure is if that ever happened to me, I'll fight to my last breath in a certain way, and if it's up against many people, I will not hesitate to fight in a certain way that I won't regret, But, okay, enough of me being stupid and personal about this thing. I mean, Junpei had a very horrible high school life, and then, eventually he meets Mahito. Mahito asks him a couple things about, the human soul and everything else. He tells him, do you think people have hearts? No, they have souls instead. As he continues to lecture Junpei, Mahito, or Frankenstein curse, sorry for saying that, but Mahito's more appropriate, if anything. He ends up telling Junpei about a couple things here and there, and that he's gonna help him understand something, etc. Eventually, we go back to a certain present day where our buddy, what's his name? Dang it. Yuji, along with the other guy, which I forgot his name. All I know is they have to keep an eye on this guy. I mean, if he's able to fight a curse off or unable to see the curse, we go rescue him. But if he's some kind of sorcerer jujutsu guy or something, then we gotta retreat and grab some help, because this guy is known to be a little, depending on what grade level he is, he could be very dangerous, and there's a ranking system that I didn't understand or even bother paying attention to. But one thing was sure is that jujutsu sorcerers are known to be a little stronger than, depending on the grade of the curse, but we'll have to see that from the get-go. And we have to it that we got to see the scene with Junpei meeting his high school teacher and telling him, hey, those guys that you hang out with, which is the bullies that he misunderstands. I don't know. All I know is he's a stupid fat teacher and says, hey, how about we go visit the funeral, etc., those guys who hang out with you. But they're not friends, which I don't know why he even says that. Junpei could have said something about, hey, these guys, were beating the living heck out of me, man. I mean, they ain't my friends whatsoever, and etc. I kind of find that really disgusting now and then, depending on if that's how some of those things are in high school. But whatever the case may be, all I know is they end up, the freaking Itadori Yuji, who's being accompanied by this guy who I call him a butler, I guess, ends up releasing the curse and ends up almost causing some trouble with some other guy in prison. We have to that Itadori Yuji says, hey, wants to talk to Junpei for a bit, and the high school fat teacher tries to tell him, hey man, I'm talking to him, you don't understand anything. Yuji, annoyed, decides to take off his pants, pull him over, and have him chase him around, and then eventually he ran one whole damn lap just to meet up with Junpei. And then he ends up and then Junpei's like, hey, you didn't have to do that, And Yuji's like, what? I know you hate the guy. And then he goes like, how do you know? He said, it's just a hunch. I mean, am I wrong? He says, no, you're not wrong, And then we have two that they decide to hang out for a bit, etc. Because that fat high school teacher who thinks that the bullies were Junpei's friends, I mean, it looks like to me he didn't look into things carefully, but whatever the case may be, they're all dead anyway, so it doesn't matter. And when it comes to the rest of the episode, it does go back and forth when it comes to a Nanami against Mahito, and they end up actually clashing against each other, It looked like to me they seem to be on par, and we have to, of course, Mahito's really glad that it's not Gojo, because otherwise he'd be in trouble. And we all know how strong Gojo is. The guy's infinity. You can't fight infinity at all that easily. And even if you did, you may not last too long. You will just delay the inevitable at most, but yeah. All I know is Nanami is a grade 1 sorcerer, so pretty much he's able to hold his own against Mahito, and Mahito managed to touch him one time after seeing about his soul, after he sees that what he's done to certain human beings, they haven't died out entirely, of course, Nanami remembers like once the human is transfigured or disfigured, you can't save them. They'll just attack you without hesitation, etc. Blah blah blah. Whatever the case may be, Nanami does have a little hesitation to want to like attack disfigured like human beings, but whatever the case, he tries not to put his personal feelings ahead. But Mahito read his soul, says, "Dude, you're trembling. Don't go lying, okay?" And we have to it that Mahito touched him and says, "That's really great. You managed to put cursed energy, or use a cursed technique to like cover your soul, because it guaranteed if you didn't do that, you'd be under my control. But 2 or 3 more times, how many times he has to touch him, it's game over. You're under my control." Of course, Nanami, realizing that he's in trouble, tries to escape, but Mahito pushed him into a pit where he kicked him over to a pit and says, "You're gonna be a very good experiment. You know that?" And Nanami, knowing that his time is up, decides, you know what, time to go overtime. And then his cursed energy seems to increase as Mahito seems to realize it, you know? And then we had to, of course, like this post-credits funny short whatsoever, and then we get to see a preview of the next episode called Narrow Minded. It looks like to me Junpei and Yuji is gonna have a little small talk with each other, and possibly Junpei wants to be cautious around like Itadori Yuji, because he saw that symbol on his uniform and has to be careful. Maybe Mahito, like I said, Mahito is pretty much manipulating or helping Junpei to be nurtured into something else. Whatever the case may be, Mahito is pretty much Junpei's real teacher for now, I guess, in the way how you want to say it. But yeah. Anyways, like I said, it shows more about Junpei, and then he has a stupid fat high school teacher who apparently doesn't understand about what Junpei is going through with those bullies, and he thinks it's his friends. And then Itadori Yuji decides to save him from that big fat teacher and decides to have a little small talk with him, while the rest of the episode involves Nanami against Mahito or the Frankenstein cursed being. Yeah, so pretty much that's about it, people. Don't know what's bound to happen for Nanami, but depending on the situation, it looks like to me Nanami might be in trouble, but we'll have to see. So until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!